Hey guys, Andrew Esquivel here, coming back at you with another kind of informative rant. So, if you're like me, you sell stuff on eBay, and I've been selling stuff on eBay for a very long time. eBay has gone through a lot of policy changes over the years, and one thing that they've changed not too long ago has got sellers a bit up in arms about selling on eBay. And long story short, eBay is now charging a final value fee based on how much you sold the item for, and that's fine, but they're now also charging a final value fee based on how much you charge for shipping. That's a problem because if you're like me, you charge what it actually does cost you to ship the item. Now, here's the thing. It's not like a tiny percentage of what it costs to ship. The final value fee for the sold item is about 10%, and that can actually fluctuate depending on your standing on eBay, your rating, if you have a store, stuff like that. And here's the kicker. The final value fee for shipping is also about 10%. Yikes. Now, I have 100% positive feedback, and I have well over 135 transactions. It's probably more like 138 at this point. And a lot of them are buyer, but a lot of them are also seller. I've done pretty well, maintaining my customer service. But now, the price to sell on eBay has just become so high that the profit margins are making it totally not worth it. In fact, a lot of people are finding they're losing money just to sell an item on eBay. Because if you sell an item for, let's say, $1, but it's $20 shipping, you're losing money. And a bid is a contractual obligation between the buyer and the seller. If the seller doesn't ship the item, he's in violation of a contract. So if that bid didn't go up nearly as high as he thought it was going to go up, there's a very good chance he stands to lose money if it's a big, heavy item. So, what is a guy to do? Well, eBay's gotten too big for its britches, much in the way that Craigslist is giving way to more modern options like OfferUp and 5 Mile. eBay is going to be losing ground thanks to a relatively new website called Bonanza. Now, Bonanza is a lot like eBay. It's very similar, in fact, except the fees are much more reasonable. They don't charge you a final value fee for shipping. And the final value fee they have for your item is, I believe, around closer to 3%. Not 10%. And there's no charge to list on the website. And there's no, little extra things that nickel and dime you, like bold or high-resolution pictures and stuff like that. Everyone's listing is equal. But it's nice to see that there is a real competitor out there. And I'm trying to spread the word because Bonanza is still relatively small, about a seller base, I believe, currently of around 50,000 users. Could be wrong, but the number is ever growing, and the more people we have starting to go over to Bonanza, hopefully eBay will take a second look at themselves and think, oops, maybe we should try something else. Because sellers like eBay, simply because it gets them the most exposure. We pay for that exposure in the form of listing fees. If you're not a high-rated seller, you pay listing fees. If you are a high-rated seller like myself, you don't pay a listing fee. And if you want extra features, they nickel and dime you. Then the final value fee on the item, which is, understandable. But then another final value fee on top of that for the shipping. And then also, I might add, even though eBay and PayPal are separate companies now, you're almost guaranteed to be needing PayPal to accept payments, which is going to be another fee based on how much you sold the item for. Now, they didn't go with a route like saying, okay, if you print the label on PayPal, they know exactly how much it costs, so why couldn't they just have some system automatically verify, and if the cost is over that, then do a percentage on what it's over based on up to the point in which you're charging. They didn't institute anything like that. I mean, that would have possibly even encouraged people to use PayPal's automated system to print stuff out, which gives them a little cut of money too, but they decided that that wasn't good enough, and people have been pretty furious about this for a little bit now, ever since the policy was initialized. So if you're a seller, try bouncing over to Bonanza. If you're a buyer, don't just limit yourself to eBay. Bonanza's got interesting stuff too. And as a seller, here's a neat little thing. Bonanza has a tool that will allow you to import all your listings from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and I think a few more places automatically, so that all your stuff is in one nice, tidy little space. And although their website, like I said, they are new, they're working out some kinks. There are, things like PayPal integration, because let's face it, PayPal is the de facto standard. We're kind of stuck with it as sellers because buyers like the fact that PayPal is really biased in the sense that they'll lean towards believing the buyer over the seller most of the time. So there's that. So we're kind of stuck with PayPal, but I can live with that. But, Bonanza, it's better. They're working on the website, and like I was just saying, and they're continuing to make updates. They have an app for sellers. The app is kind of meh, but they're updating it all the time. And the more people that head over to Bonanza, the more money they'll have to develop the site, and the less money we're going to have to pay just to try and sell something. So, if local stuff like Craigslist ain't doing it for you, and I don't use Craigslist anymore, I use OfferUp, because OfferUp has more features like, seller verification and identity verification and ratings and stuff like that for sellers. But, just like in the sense that Craigslist is giving way to more modern applications, eBay is going to be giving way to more reasonable websites. So, take that information, use it, knowledge is power, and yeah, give it a shot. It's not going to cost you anything to try.